So now we are going to see a very important concept and topic, controlling access to files. Now this is really interesting, beautiful and very important concept. It doesn't matter you are a fresher or you are an experienced guy. This topic is must for you, must and should. So we have two concepts, special permissions, advanced permissions and ACL. Today we'll only see special permission. In our next concept, we are going to cover ACL. Let's see what is special permission. See guys, on a file, you can apply permission to three levels. What is that? Users, groups, and others. Very good. What permission? Read, write, execute. Now on the same three level, we have some special permissions. That is set UID, set GID, and sticky bit. So who's have what permission? Users will get a special permission set UID. Group will have a special permission set GID, and others will have something called sticky bit. Three levels, three regular permission, and three special permission. Set UID, set GID, sticky bit for users, groups, and others. How they are represented? Set UID is represented by S, small or capital. SGID is also represented by S, small or capital. Sticky bit is represented by T, small t or capital T. Numerically, they are represented by 4, 2, and 1. How to apply them? We have chmod u plus s to apply SUID. Chmod g plus s to apply SGID. Chmod o plus t to apply sticky bit. This is the way you can apply SUID, SGID, and sticky bit. Numerically, if you want to apply chmod 4 and the regular permission. So instead of 3 digits, we'll use 4. So first digit will be special permission and last 3 digits will be normal, regular permission. Chmod 2, regular permission. Chmod 1, regular permission. This is the way you can apply special permission, set UID, set GID, and sticky bit as per your requirements. Now let's see or let's understand what is the role of these special permission and in which scenario or situation this is required. Now guys, this is really important. In your work scenarios, we need these special permissions highly. So you got to understand it very well and you have to practice it very well also, as far as interview perspective and as well as working perspective. These are super important topics. So set UID. Guys, in our system, we have some special executable files or scripts, which is called as commands. Whatever commands we have seen, cp, mv, user mod, group mod, these are all special executable scripts. Now guys, they have a special requirement to run. What is the special requirement? You can run them only if you are owner of the file. What is the rule? Only owner can execute such files. Non-owners will not be allowed to execute it. So you understood that special scripts required ownership. Now let me explain you one scenario here. Assume guys, you have a command called password command. You know what's the role of password command, right? It is used for assigning password to a user. Very good. Now this file is going to update, this command is going to update a file. That file name is etc shadow. Guys, we saw that etc shadow does not have a single permission. If you see, there are no permissions on this file. Now, who is the owner of password command? If you just say which any command, for example, which ls, it tells you the path of the command script, usr bin ls. You say which cp or which user mod. Every command has a location. It tells you what is the location. Same way, if you say which password. Now, if you check the detail, USR bin password. Who's the owner? Root. Now, you see, password command belongs to a user called root. And guys, what's the ID reserved for root? 0. Now, scenario is root is the owner, root is running password command, updating shadow file, understand. Perfect. Root is owner, root is doing the activity. Fine, I'm the owner of my house. I'm coming, I'm unlocking the door, I'm entering into my flat, I'm entering into my house. Understood. But there is one more user. Let's say the user name is U1 or U2, whatever. I have this user. And what's the ID for this user? For example, 1002. Now, guys, whenever U2 wants to change his password, what this guy is doing, he's running password command and he's updating shadow file. Just try to understand this point, guys. If you look at shadow file, the shadow file does not have a single permission. Root is super user, root is owner of even password command. He is doing that. We understood. But how come a non-owner is running password command and updating the shadow file? Right? Something has to strike in your mind here. Non-owner is running password command and updating such a critical file. How? How someone else is coming to my flat, is having the key, is opening the flat and entering into my flat? How is it possible? Only owner can run the command, we understood. How come a non-owner is doing this? See, in this case, one thing is possible that I have changed the ownership of the file. There is a command chown, change owner. So maybe U2 wants to change the password, so I change the owner to U2. So U2 can run the command and update the file. That is one case. But how many times will I change owner? Suppose now U2 wants to change the password, I made him owner. After a couple of seconds, U3 wants to change the password. Then I have to make him the owner. Then suppose, let's say Shrujana wants to change her password. So I want to make her a owner. So every time after a couple of seconds, if someone wants to change the password, I cannot just sit changing the owner. And that too, making owner every time someone is not a great idea. Suppose your friend came to your house and he says that, see, I don't have a car to go nearby, or I don't have a bike to go someplace. Can I use your bike? What is the condition you are giving the bike, guys? Will you say, okay, take it forever, this is you're the owner? No. The mutual condition what we will have is, okay, take it, use it, and give me back. Isn't it? So your friend will take your bike, he'll do his work, come back and return you your bike. So you will be the owner, but you are temporarily sharing the ownership with someone else. So temporarily your friend will become bike owner, he'll take it and he'll use it and give it back. Same is the case what we will be given by this special permission called SUID. So such important file will definitely have SUID applied. What happens when you have SUID applied? See guys, at the time of execution, What time? At the time of execution. Non-owner's ID will be temporarily changed to owner's ID. That means for a short period of time, shortest period of time, U2 ID will become 0. As it becomes 0, he become temporary owner. As he become owner, he run the command and update the shadow file. That is where SUIDs are special. Every important command that is being able to run by others, I guarantee you that there is a concept of SUID applied over there. Without SUID, you cannot give non-owners to run such command. Now, chown may not work in this scenario. It's not logical if you think. Making someone permanent owner is not logical. So in this case, SUIDs are important. Now let's see how to identify what permissions are there. You see, first three permission belongs to user. Now in this user list, in place of execute, see S. That means SUID is applied. Same way, if next three permissions, second permission belongs to whom, guys? It belongs to group. First three belongs to user, next three belongs to group. In group also, in place of X, if you see S, that means SGID is applied. Last three permission belongs to whom? See, last three permission belongs to others. And here also in place of X, if you see what, guys? T, that means sticky bit is applied. So this is the way, guys, how you can identify which special permission is applied. In this case, there is only S in user list. So here SUID is applied. This is the reason every normal user is allowed to change the password. For example, I will log in as one of the member. For example, I'll log in as U2. Let's say I'll go with U2 and I will log in and wait. Now, U2 can change his password hundreds of times. There is no problem. But if I remove SUID, what will happen? You see. See, to apply SUID, you have to go with chmod u plus s. But here I'm removing. So I'll be using what? Minus. Remove SUID from user level. On which file? USR bin password. Go back and check it out that S has been replaced by regular execute permission. Now you go to U2. Who am I? U2. As a normal user, if I try to change my password, I'll give my current password, then I'll give my new password, whatever. See, the new password is perfect. That's the reason it asks for retype. New password should be 8 characters long, alphanumeric, special character, all I have given. So two times it accepted that you have given correct password. But at the time of updating the file, it is telling authentication token manipulation error. That means it tried to update the shadow file, did not got permission, so it says manipulation error. So as a normal user, this guy U2 tried to update shadow file and got rejected. Why? Because it does not belongs to him. He is not the owner, he is not able to do that task. So did you understood, guys, what is the power of SUID? Without SUID, people cannot even change their own passwords, isn't it? Now, guys, there is a question that is asked in interview, like people ask a scenario. What scenario? They'll say, I want a setup where no user in the system should be able to change their password. Only root should change the password. What should I do? The answer is go to password command and remove SUID. No user in the system can change their password. Only root can change the password as he is the owner. Others will not be allowed to change the password. Some strict scenarios, guys, financial organizations and all, they wanted to build a very strict environment. There you can apply this scenario. Anyway, now if I reapply SUID, I'll repeat the command. Last time we removed it, this time I'll add it. Go back and check it out. In user level, you see S, that means SUID is applied. Come back and try to change the password again. Give the password your current password and the new password, whatever you want to keep. See, last time it got rejected, but this time no problem. I'm able to do that. So many important commands are there, guys, that is dependent on SUID. So you must know the role that where SUID is required. Now, same like that, we have SGID. SGID stands for set group ID. See, in SUID, at the time of execution, non-owner's ID is getting replaced with owner's ID temporarily. Same like that, in SGID, non-member's ID will be replaced with the file's group ID. Temporarily, non-group member will become member of my group and he'll be able to execute certain commands or script. So at the time of execution, non-group members will be non-group members ID will be replaced by the file's group ID, so that temporarily he get group membership and he should be able to run the command, same like SUID. But guys, SGID has some really serious important concept. Very critical scenario. Let me explain you what is that scenario and where that scenario works. Now assume, guys, you are having a directory, right? Now this directory name is SAP. In slash I created SAP. Suppose SAP application is associated with this directory. Okay. Now I have SAP directory. Owner of this directory is root, and the group owner of this directory is SAP GRP, so that everybody can do all types of operations. This directory has full permission. 777 means all permissions. Okay. All right. Now scenario is there is a user with the name YouTube, for example. Now this guy comes to your directory. Not only this guy comes to your directory, but he creates some data, maybe file, maybe directory, whatever. Let's say F1 if the file created. See guys, whenever someone creates a file, who am I? U2. Now ID. U2 is the owner and U2 is the primary group, right? Now if I say create some file, touch F1. Normal behavior is whenever someone creates a file, that fellow will be owner of the file and his primary group will be group owner of the file. Whoever creates the file, he'll be the owner or she'll be the owner, and his or her primary group will be group owner of the file. This is the normal behavior. But here requirement changes. Let's say the application people is telling us whoever comes to this directory and when they creates the data, that user should be owner of the file. That's fine, no problem. But the group ownership should be taken automatically from the directories group. That means the directory is having what group? That group should be automatically group owner of all the files. So whoever it might be, U1, U2, U3, F1, F2, F3, when they comes to my directory and when they create the data, their data's group ownership should be taken automatically by the group of the directory, not their own. How to achieve this scenario? One thing is you can manually run the command chgrp. Whenever someone creates the data, you run manually chgrp and change the group. Now guys, manually doing the work may not be feasible. In a day, hundreds and thousands of people may be adding, removing data. I can't sit running chgrp on every file. So what we do on this file, we will apply a special permission sgid. When you give sgid on a directory, when people creates the data, their data's group ownership will be automatically given to the directories group, not their personal group. Now guys, this might be an important requirement for application. So we need to give this solution. People may ask you this type of requirement. If you don't know what is the role, what solution you will give. That's the reason, practice this well and remember it. Let's create the situation, a scenario. I'll create a directory in slash with the name SAP. Why I'm choosing slash? Because every user can come to that directory and only slash is the location where everybody can enter. If I create it in slash root, it's root directory. Other users cannot come. If I create it in var opt, some users may not have access to it. So I need a location where everyone can come. So I'm creating the directory in slash. Not only I'll create it, but I'll give full permission. So you see your directory SAP has full permission. Owner is root, group owner is root. I want the group owner to be SAP GRP. See, SAP GRP we have already created. If it is not created, you can just say group add SAP GRP and group will be created. In our case, it's already created, so no need to create again. I want to change the group owner to SAP GRP. So command is chgrp. To change the owner, chown. To change the group, chgrp. Change the group owner to SAP GRP. For which directory? SAP. Now you see your scenario is ready. We have SAP directory with full access permission. Owner is root and group owner is SAP GRP. Now let's go to U2. Who am I? U2. Remember that picture what we draw. As U2, I'm entering into SAP. Not only I'll enter, but I'll create some files. For example, F1, F2, F3. See, so far it is behaving normally. U2 is owner, U2 is group owner. U2 is owner, U2 is group owner. Normally, this is the normal behavior. Now I need to change this behavior. I want group ownership to be taken from directory, which is SAP GR. So to do it automatically, I'll go for setgid. How to apply setgid? Chmod g plus s, u plus s setuid, g plus s setgid, o plus t sticky bit. What is the directory? SAP. Now you go back and check the detail. See guys, group permission RWS. So in place of execute, if you see S, that means there is SGID as well as execute permission, right? Now you go back to U2, ask U2 to create more files. Maybe I'll create F4 till 8. 5 more files I'm creating. Now you check the detail. Observe here guys, the files what I created after applying SGID. What will be the case? Before SGID it was taking real group name, but after SGID automatically group ownership is given to the directories group. So whoever it might be, let me say I'll log in as some other user, maybe my user. Now you see who am I? As my user I'll go to SAP and here I'll create some file M125 for example. Now you see I am my user. All file belongs to my user, but the group ownership is automatically taken by the directories group, not their real group. So whoever comes to this directory when they create the data, their data ownership will be with them, but group ownership will be given to the directories group. Maybe there is such requirement for application. The application wants to be the group controller. So we can give this scenario, we can give this situation. Even if you ask in interviews, if they ask you that, can you give an example of SGID? You can give this. Can you give an example of SUID? Password command, right? Now, to achieve this scenario, there is one security loophole, guys. What is the loophole? See, you have given full permission. Now, guys, full permission can be misused, or in fact, most of the time it is misused only. See, I'll go to U2, for example. Who am I? U2. U2's file are F1 to F8, right? Now, U2 may delete his file rm-f f1, no problem. That was his file, he deleted. But guys, U2 can disturb my user's file also. Suppose rm-f and I'll say m1. Now, did you observe, guys, what happens? U2 destroyed my user's file. Same way, my user can destroy U2's file. Maybe he is deleting F2. Just see, guys, someone is coming and destroying someone else's data. Do you think this is correct, ethically, or any other way? Is it correct, guys, that people are coming and destroying someone else's data? Suppose there is a parking. In the parking, lots of bikes and cars are there. So someone is coming and taking away someone else's bike or destroying someone else's bike. Is it correct? Definitely not correct. So guys, I need protection towards this file. What protection? The protection is only the real owner should disturb their file. Other people should not be able to touch someone else's file. What is the protection I can apply? See, if I remove write permission from everyone, people cannot write any data into the file. So I don't want to disturb the existing permission. I want everybody to come, read, write, execute the data. But I don't want people to disturb someone else's data. See, in this case, sticky bit rule will be applied. Sticky bit allows you to touch only your files, not other people's work. It sticks with the directory and make sure only the real owner is allowed to delete their file, right? Other people will not be able to disturb. So what I'll do, I'll go for sticky bit. Let me say ls-ld sap. How to apply sticky bit? Chmod o plus t, u plus s, g plus s, o plus t. Which directory? SAP. Hit enter. Now just check it out. ls-ld, it's have sticky bit. Now you see the power. Go to U2. See, U2 have files F3 to F8. Now if U2 say remove F3 or remove F4, no problem. See, he's able to remove F3, F4 both. But if he say remove M2, see what's happened. rm-f M2. It says not permitted. M3 not permitted. M4 not permitted. M5 not permitted. Did he restrict it? Yes. Go to my user. Who am I? Sorry. Who am I? My user. Now you see, my user files are M2 to M5. He can touch any file and delete it. Suppose rm-f M2. No problem. But if we say remove F5, not permitted. F6, not permitted. F7, not permitted. F8, not permitted. So user can touch their own file. They cannot disturb other people's work. Neither they will allow to edit it, nor they'll allow to delete it. You are the owner, you can touch only your file. You cannot disturb anybody else's work. This is the power of sticky bit. Guys, SGID and sticky bit goes hand in hand. Whenever you are applying SGID, you'll observe we will also apply sticky bit so that people cannot misuse their power. Everyone is coming and disturbing someone else's data. That may not be good. Now, one more thing, guys, that you have to keep in your mind. If you don't keep this in your mind, you will be ever confused. Remember, these are the thumb rule of applying SUID, SGID, and sticky bit. See, guys, we have three special permission: SUID, SGID, and sticky bit. Right? You can apply it either on a file or you can apply it on a directory. Now, listen to me very, very carefully. Guys, not everything work with file and not everything work with directory. SUID only works with a file. It does not have any role on directory. Obviously, SUID works only with executable files or scripts. Do you think directory can be a script or command? Obviously not. So there is no role on the directory. It works only with files. SGID, as we saw, works on both. If you apply on a file at the time of execution, non-group members ID will be replaced by files group ID so that non-group members can also run the commands or execute the file. If you apply it on a directory, we just now saw the scenario that this scenario will be achieved. People will come and create the file group ownership will be given to directories group. Sticky bit. The most surprising is sticky bit cannot protect directly a file. You take a file, apply sticky bit, log in as other user, try to delete, the file will get deleted because sticky bit cannot protect directly a file. Sticky bit protects the content inside the directory. So sticky bit works only with directories, not with files. So if you want to protect your data, make a directory. And in the directory, keep some stuff. And that stuff will be protected by sticky bit. So sticky bit directly does not protect a file. It protects the content inside the directory. Now, if you remember this concept, nobody can confuse you. You yourself will not be confused at first place. So guys, this is all about your SUID, SGID sticky bit. I hope you have understood the concept very well, and this is going to be a very important concept. That's it for the day, guys.